Hey everyone, Suey here. It's Tag Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and do a tag because last week I was tagged by the Mild Rumpus for this fun tag about the Libary Tag. And it was originally done by Book Buds. So let's just jump into it, shall we? There's two sections of questions, one for if you go to the library and one for if you don't go to the library. I think it's very obvious that I do go to the library, so I'll be doing the go to the library questions. The first one is, how often do you go to the library? Well, since I work there, I go twice a week for sure. And sometimes I go when I'm not working to go to an event or something like that. Usually if I'm checking out books, I'll get them while I'm there working. So I don't usually go back just to get a book, though that has happened many times also. So yeah, I'm always there. I'm always there, basically. Do you belong to more than one library system? Yes, because the other big city in this area, I also belong to that one too, and they are different systems, but they are friends. So if you have a card in one, you can check out in the other, which you would think that means that they're on the same system, but they are not. They've just decided to be friends. All the other libraries around, all the smaller libraries around us, they are friends, and I'm not part of that system. But they are not friends with the two big libraries in the cities, which a lot of people think is really obnoxious of them, but there are reasons, and I've asked and been explained, but I can't really explain back. Mostly because they feel like since they are so big and can have so much bigger collections, that they want their people, there are people that pay the taxes to be able to reap the rewards of those collections and not have to share with all the other small towns. Number 3, what percentage of books you read come from the library? I tried to do a little math. It did not go well, but I feel like if I said about a third, it might be fairly close. So far this year, I've read like 23 books, and about 6 of them have come from the library, if you count Libby, which I do. So is that about a third? But that feels about right. So do you listen to audiobooks or get ebooks from the library? I do, yes. Lots of ebooks from Libby. Not as many as a lot of other people I know. And I do, if I do an audiobook, then I will get it from Libby. I don't do Audible. Why? Why do something you have to pay for when you've got Libby for free? I don't understand. I guess if you're dying to read it and you don't want to wait, if it's on hold. Sometimes the holds on Libby are crazy. But usually if I want an audiobook, like in June when we're going on a long drive again, I will probably just go to Libby and check some out that are available because I have nothing really in mind that I want to read, so I will just look for ones that are available and get some audiobooks for the road trip. But this is sort of still a new thing for me. Like you may have known if you've been paying attention, I've been talking about how I'm not a huge fan of audiobooks, but I am starting to understand the appeal. So with certain books, I should say. So yes, I have done a few audio lately, and I do ebooks all the time, so I love it. It's really awesome. Did you go to story time at the library as a kid? No, I did not as a kid that I remember. I'm very old. I do not remember. I don't think my parents took me. I don't even know if there was a story time, but I did take my own kids every week without fail, especially in the summers. We did so many summer things at the library. So yes, I'm a huge fan of story time. In fact, I am going to start taking my grandkid that I attend a couple times a week. Right now, story time is taking a break at our library, or I would have already gone. But maybe in June when I have him, we will go over to story time, and I will start making it be a routine, hopefully, at least one of the days I have him, to take him over to story time. So yes, I love story time, but I do not remember going as a kid. I don't really remember going to programs and special things at the library. I just remember checking them out. Now this reminds me that just the other day, I did a huge library love video. If you want to go check it out, that would be awesome, because it was National Library Week. And so I did a library stories video. So this tag is very similar to that video that I kind of already did a couple weeks ago. So be sure to check it out if you want to hear more of my specific library stories. Let's see, have you ever borrowed a movie or a video game from your library? Tons of movies, tons and tons, piles, stacks, huge amounts. Just a little handful of video games here and there. Our library is getting tons of video games lately. That's sort of a newerish thing. for them, but we have so many movies. Our movie collection is amazing. I have checked out a lot of movies. Now, I'm not a huge movie watcher anymore these days. I don't know why. Life changes. I haven't checked out movies for quite a long time, but one of the funnest things, oh, this should have been in my story, my library story video. But one of the funnest things I do or have done is sometimes it'll be after hours and we'll be sitting here going, oh man, I kind of want to watch this movie. And then I'll be like, hey, we can go to the library and check it out. It's after hours, but I can get in. And so one of the funnest things to do is go to the library when it's dark and spooky and there's nobody there. And you go downstairs where the movies are, try to find, I can turn the lights on, but I don't like to flip every single freaking light on in the library when we're sneaking in, right? So we go downstairs and we find a movie and in the dark and check it out after hours, which is really fun. Okay, I act like I'm not supposed to do that, but it's okay. They've let us do that. It's okay. So I still feel like I'm sneaking around. Okay. Have you ever gotten fined for returning books late, and if so, how do you feel about that? I have probably gotten fined a few times. I'm pretty good about getting my books in, but since I've worked there, guess what a perk is? No fines. Yes. Now you have to still be a decent person and not keep a book forever and ever and ever. Especially if somebody's got it on hold. You got to be a good person and take it back, right? Most of the time, I think the other day was the first time I've actually ever turned something in late, and it was only because I kept it over the weekend when it was due on Friday, and I took it back on Monday because I needed the weekend to finish it. So I take advantage of it now and then, but most of the time I still get them in on time. But that is a perk of working there, is there are no fines for us. That being said, I'm fine with fines because it's not very much and it helps the library, and why wouldn't you want to help the library? So sometimes, it's okay. It's okay if I don't like it if people abuse the fine system and, keep their books forever and ever. But if you are a little bit late and you need to pay some fines, then just do it and be happy to help the library. Do you attend special events, groups, or book sales at the library? Yes, all. The other library, the one that I don't work at, used to have amazing author events. It's not as great as it used to be lately. I don't know what's going on with them. I kind of miss it. And COVID and pandemic and crap like that ruined a lot of stuff, and they haven't quite got back the same game as they were pre-COVID. But I met so many authors at the author events from the other library. My own library that I work at has had several cool author events. So yeah, they do it also, not quite to the extent as the other library, but they have a lot of musical events and other magic shows and other things like that, and I go to them sometimes. And I also have gone to groups. I don't know what that means by groups, but I haven't gone to a book group or anything, but lately I'm going to a writing group over at the library that just got going the last few months. And I have gone to other such things at the library many times. The library is amazing. They have so many amazing things, and everybody should take advantage of it. I mentioned summer. Back when my kids were little, we lived for summer reading at the library. Nowadays, summer reading at the library is huge. There's huge production. Back when I went with my kids, it was kind of a smaller scale thing, and you just kind of went and hung out with other kids that were reading, and you pumped each other up to read a lot, and they did some fun things and blah blah blah. Now it's like this huge event. So it's really grown a lot in the last few years. So summer reading at the library is one of the best things that our library does anyway. And also, our library lately has been doing an adult reading challenge, which means it's basically, there's 30 prompts. You do 15 of them, you get a prize. You do 30 of them, you get another prize. So I've been doing that. I don't know if I'm getting prizes since I work there, because I feel weird about that. It's fun to participate. So they do kind of all that kind of stuff too. I don't know if you call that a group. That's a challenge. Library challenges. Have you ever given or taken a book from a little free library, a book box, or a book swap? Oh, I didn't talk about sales. first, before going to that one, I want to talk about sales. The other library, the one that I don't work at, has the most amazing sale ever. It is overwhelming. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of books that they put out on tables in this great big huge ballroom that they have there. And you just walk around going, ah, but I've gone there and gotten a few before. Our library has a book sale corner that's always ongoing, and sometimes they bring them out. They have been known to have huge ones too, where they put tables out all throughout the library with stuff. So I love those. Most of the time I don't buy a whole lot because all the books that are out are either books I'm not interested in reading or books I've already read. But I might start participating in those a little more because of next question. Have you ever given or taken a book from a little free library, a book box, or a book swap? So, guys, I'm so excited to announce that I am going to be putting a little free library up in my yard. We're starting to plan it and think about it. And then when I have a little free library, I will buy more books from the book sales to stick in my little free library. The idea, of course, is to get rid of some of my books and put them in the little free library. But I will also buy more when they're real cheap and stick them in there. So book sales are going to be awesome. The little free library I'm very excited about. I've wanted to do this forever and ever and ever. We're kind of redoing our yard to be more of a local scape sort of thing, getting rid of our grass, putting in more beds, putting in some paths, doing some mulch. And I said, you know what, as part of this redo of our yard, I would like to stick a little free library up. My husband's like, okay, fine. And I want to kind of theme the whole front yard as sort of a storybook theme. And I'm going to vlog that experience. That is, if I don't lose my oomph. I've been kind of having a wobble problem lately. So doing vlogs, I'm having a hard time being motivated. But we've just gotten started, and so I'm hoping to film the process and show you this little free library soon. I don't know, it'll probably take us all summer. I'm so excited. Now, that all being said, I have only visited a few little free libraries. On trips, when we run into them, I will always check them out. I don't take much. I don't think I've really taken anything actually from one. There's not a whole lot around here. Well, I mean, there's a bunch. I just looked at the app the other day, and my plan is to go around and do a little tour of some of the ones around here because I'm really curious what the other ones are around here, and I haven't done it. So that's going to be a video coming soon. And actually, by the time this video gets up, I might have already put it up. I'm putting this up on Tuesday, and I might have done the little free library thing by now. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. Because last week was Little Free Library Week. So I thought, what better time to go check out the little free libraries around in this area. So hopefully that's up. If it's not, it will be up soon. Wow, I really like this one.
It kind of has a little bit of your theme.
Kind of does. I don't know if I want one that big though. The other one was too small and this one's kind of too big. But this is sort of... You're totally blocking it now.
There's a lot.
I'm actually reading a book about little free libraries. I did not get it at the library. I got it at the bookstore. And if that other video came up already, then maybe you already know my whole little free library plans. I don't know. The timing of these videos sometimes is a little weird, I know. Does your librarian know you by name? This one cracks me up because the librarians are all my co-workers. But that being said, I work up in the administration office of the library. I don't work down at the desks. So a lot of the times the people at CERC or the people at the desks don't actually know who I am because I only work up in the office a couple mornings a week. But all the bosses and the actual librarians, you know, a librarian is somebody who has gone and gotten their master's in library science. You know that, right? Those are the librarians. You can't really call yourself a librarian unless you've done that. This is a thing in the library world. So all the bosses, the true librarians, quote unquote, they know who I am because they are, you know, very familiar with what's going on in the office. So yes, the librarians do not know my name, but I don't know if people at the desk or the CERC desk, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. Depends on who it is. And some more stuff about the library that I was going to say was that actually I find that since I've been working there, I don't walk around and browse the shelves and just see what jumps out at me as often as I used to do. And I really, really miss that. And it's also probably partly because I buy too many books. And so I don't check out at the library. I feel too guilty because I'm like, why should I bring home a bunch of stuff when I have so much stuff on my shelves I need to read? But I also got to say that when I do check out things from the library, I get like butterflies in my stomach still. The other day, I checked out a couple of things. Here's my little library stash. And one of them is in my room. So I checked out 3 books the other day, and I was literally so excited. While I was working, I checked and saw that the things I wanted were on the shelf. And so I went down after work and grabbed them. And I was like literally butterfly in my stomach excited, which I laugh at myself because of that, but it's how it is. I love, 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 love checking things out from the library. It makes me so happy and excited. Tag some friends. I've got 4 channels here written down that I would like to tag. Ellen Made Book Club, Ben's Book Corner, Fiber Artsy Reads, and Bookstalgic. I'm tagging you guys through this library tag. And anyone else, if you haven't been tagged and you would think it would be fun to tell us about your library habits, go for it. I would love to hear them. Hopefully you've enjoyed my craziness of my library stuff. And like I said, if you haven't already, go watch my library love video that I did just the other week. Yes. And also look forward to the little free library content that I'm going to be doing. I'm excited. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.